I get to go perform. I love that. I love that shit. I love performing for people. I love seeing Dana sitting right there. He's nervous. I love John Anik on the mic saying, holy shit, like this is about to happen. I love giving people that emotional feeling that you get when Conor walks out, when Conor's in the cage, when these legends are fighting. I like giving people that feeling, and for me, I enjoy it. Some people, you know, they're like, I fucking don't know why I do this shit. I don't even want to feel like this. I feel like I'm good at turning that around and being like, I get to do this. I was delusional. I was, you know, I would tell people like, I'm gonna be in the UFC. I'm gonna be world champ. I'm gonna be the best. And this is when I sucked. I was not good at all. I was delusional, but I think there's a part of being delusional that's really good. You have to have that self-belief, and I did have that in me, to where not really a lot of people around me did. I'd say one of my first MMA coaches, Johnny Aho, was just as delusional as me. He's like, oh, you could beat GSP. Like, we were just small town. We didn't know how good I was or how bad I was because I was beating up guys that sucked. So I thought I was really good. So I built this self-belief when I was 16, 17, 18 years old in Montana, knocking people out that weren't very good. But I was knocking them out, so I thought I was the man. Came down to Phoenix, realized really fast, about 5 seconds in, there's levels to this. I'm not as good, but I still had this self-belief. I knew I was an athlete. You know, I remember a lot of times crying, leaving the gym crying, like when I was 18, 19 years old, because I was getting beat up bad. I'm like, damn, this is my dream. But for whatever reason, like I said, I didn't have a plan B. So it's like, well, cry, go to bed, get back up, let's go to the gym again. You know, and it took me years to be able to beat those guys that were beating me. But I didn't know what else I was gonna do, and I was really motivated and driven by money and chicks. Like, looking back on it, like, that's what I wanted, and that's kind of what kept me going. Is like, I wanted to be famous, I want to have money, I want to have chicks. Like, those were the three things. Looking back on it, kind of sounds stupid, but really that's what drove me to become where I was at now.
Come check out my sword, Stuart.
Yo, how you doing?
Wait, I have my film camera. Let me go get it.
I got, well, when Sean beat Petr Yan, I got one engraved that said defeated Petr Yan and the date for Sean. They custom made him in Montana.
Ready?
Yeah, I think he has the work ethic and he's smart enough, and we have the right team around us where he could be one of the best fighters ever, as long as his body holds up. That's one of the hardest things about fighting, is people's bodies start breaking down over the years. But that's the goal, not just to win the title. A lot of people win the title and they think they made it, but once you win the title, that's when the really hard work starts, because now you're going to fight the absolute best person in your weight class every single fight. So winning this title is just the beginning of the hard work and focus.
I just listen to smart people. I got a couple red lights in my house too. I just listen to smart people say get shit and I get shit. So maybe it makes me stupid. I don't know, I've been using red light for probably a little over a year now. Use it pretty much every day. Sit in front of it, journal. Then we got the PEMF machine, Tim's got one too. It's hard to see because the light fucked me up. That looks pretty green, right? Or does it look brown? It looks decently green. It's hard to say after that red light fucks you up. Alright, that's it pretty much. Fucking heat it up, 387 degrees Fahrenheit. Prime temperature. Not too hot for your lungs. Let her heat up. Vaporizing it, hands down, the healthiest way. But like you said, a good joint, a good king palm, it's fucking hard to beat. Something about just smoking a joint, smoking a king palm, just like, fuck. she is. I don't want to touch Tim's nasty ass lips, so I'll just give it a little push. There she is. You want to rip? I've always been good at smoking mainly at night. There is random days where we'll take a bag of smoke. I'll go load up a bag of smoke, like a midday bag. Just a little bit, take a nap, and then go train again in the afternoon, and then hit your bag, another bag. But yeah, I've never smoked first thing in the morning. Yeah, I would say it's not something you would look at and be like, oh, that's like an exciting life. It's not like you're not going out very often. It's more so training, going home, kind of recover for your next training session. So it's pretty much what my life's looked like since I moved to Arizona. Was train, recover, train. That's what it's gonna take if you want to get to that next level to become champion. You have to live like a champion. You have to put as much into recovery as you do into the actual training itself. But as far as the lifestyle, it's like it's cool if you go out and party or something. Like do that a couple times a year. It's fun. But for the most part, like I said, I'm 28 right now, so I got a lot of work to do. But I believe I live like a world champion, and I have for years.
Stuart, we had some fresh elk straight from the mountains of Montana that my dad and brother sent me down here. Shot it themselves, butchered it themselves, froze it up, and sent it to me.
I have 15 chickens. I have 9 chickens out there that lay every day.
That looks fucking.
Ready to eat, bruh.
I was 21 years old and fighting for Bellator, and I went to my hometown to commentate some local fights. And previously, when I went back for some fights, I saw him kickboxing when he was 16 years old, and I thought he was a little skinny kid with a fro, and he was pretty athletic, but he looked like he was just having fun in there. So I went back, and he was fighting a wrestler from my hometown who I thought was going to beat him up. And then Sean ended up armbarring him from his back. So at the after party, I went up to Sean. I could tell he loved fighting, and I said, hey, do you want to come live with me in Phoenix and just try it out? Just try the gym out for 1 week. So he packed he flew down the first time, got beat up all week by every single person. He'd come back to my apartment, and he'd be crying, he'd be really down in the dumps. And he left. I figured I wouldn't see him again, but then he saved up $2,000, packed up his car, and drove down. And I think that time he was 18 years old, still an amateur, drove down, and we got an apartment together and just kind of climbed ever since.
Check it out.
Stuart, we got a sourdough, perfect piece of bread, some of your finest bacon, some elk, American cheese. If this doesn't make your cock grow, I don't know what will.
Hello everyone. I just want to let you all know about my new Patreon page where you can access a lot more new, unseen video content. On my Patreon page, you'll be able to access a lot of unseen short films, documentaries, jiu-jitsu technique videos, and breakdowns of many different grappling matches. Also, to help with the YouTube algorithm, I would really appreciate if you can like and comment on any of my new videos, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
I remember when I first started MMA, I would be like, why do if I don't book a fight, I don't have to feel this. The feeling was not, I wasn't comfortable with that feeling. It was very, just being in the back was so much anxiety and just like, holy, but I also wasn't very prepared. I'd never, I was going in there street fighting basically. I didn't have like actual skill set. So in the beginning it was very much anxiety and nervousness and like, but I always, every time I'd go in there and the lights turn on and I'm in the cage, I would always show up and I would always perform. So I think that's where I got my confidence from. The actual feeling when I'm walking out is I'm very calm. thinking about what it feels like is like, it kind of gives you that anxiety. Or even if like I'm watching the Conor documentary right now, just watching him walk out to these big fights, you get that anxiety, that little rush. But when I'm personally walking, you know, I'm prepared. I've done what I needed to do. I'm willing to go in there and do whatever needs to do to get done, or to get the job done. So when I'm walking out to the cage, I feel very calm. For whatever reason, had that mindset like I could do whatever I want if I put my mind to it. I just gotta find something that I can get obsessed with. And that happened when I was 16. I started kickboxing. I was like, damn, this is it. This fighting, which is so weird if you knew me, because I was not confrontational. I never had fought in a day in my life, and it was like, but it was the sport I enjoyed.
Looking to simulate sparring, to simulate a fight, while minimizing the negative effects, so minimizing the potential for injury and the negative consequences of sparring. So looking to simulate that. Do a really good job being tuning into how we feel and how recovered, how the readiness is, and obviously have a plan, but then being flexible within that plan. So typically we're doing strength and conditioning 2 times a week. We're doing recovery regen as well.
You just have to want it, and you can't teach that. You can't pay for that. You can't be like, God, I don't really want it today. I'm gonna wake up, pay God $500 to put that want in me. You gotta want it or not. And there's some days you don't want it, and I feel like you can't beat yourself up on those days. They're like, okay, let's take the day off and let's not think about training, because there's times where you can overtrain and just be too much in it and just get burnt out. So being able to kind of step away from it for a day, maybe 2 days, and be like, get that hunger back in you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Champ. Fucking champ. Let's go.
Yeah, Brandon's the man. He's next level when it comes to that stuff, and he's very passionate about it, and it's because he wants to. It's not like he feels like he has to work and he has to learn this stuff. He's constantly learning and evolving, just because he just does that in his personal life too. So working with Brandon completely changed my career. Way less injuries, just up and everything, helping me not overtrain. Kind of, you saw the little devices. He's always trying to keep up to date with the new technology and make sure we're, everything's going smooth. So adding Brandon to the team was fucking huge.
To me, it's his mindset will always be his greatest weapon. How he embraces uncomfort, how he embraces struggle, how he leans into all of those things. And he's obviously a very skilled MMA athlete. He's a very skilled striker. I think that aspect of his game is somewhat innate. but it's something that you continue to cultivate. So it's like with the top athletes in every sport, they just have something. You can see it when you're a coach. I've been around for a while. You start to be able to notice those things and see those things, and he definitely has that. And then he also continues to cultivate intention, presence, focus, all of those things that make him even more elite.
Yeah, I think he deserves it, because like I said, it's not something that happened now. People just see the hype. Oh no, it's a hype, he's this, but he worked for that. He's been working hard for many, many years. When a lot of people are not believing, he was busting his ass on the gym. Not just striking, but jiu-jitsu, wrestling. He's getting better every single day. So the success doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I'm just thankful to be part of that too, to be so long with them and being supporting them and seeing that grow and the steps that he did in his career to put him in that position that he's the number one in the world. We're gonna be fighting for the title, and then I think we're gonna win. We're gonna be a world champ for sure.
I don't know what I would have done. I've always was willing to work to make money, but I never liked having a boss. I always wanted to kind of do my own thing. So it's so hard to say. It's actually kind of scary to think about, but like, damn, if I didn't fight, could I have made it somewhere else? Could I have learned these skills that I've learned through this journey? I don't know if I would have. So it's hard to say. Probably before I moved down, I was working at a group home with mentally disabled people. That was pretty cool. I liked that. It was rewarding. It was enjoying. I'd probably just have kind of worked my way up there if I had to guess.
Early on as a professional, we would talk about weed and start posting shit that would, for most people, frown upon it. And his dad would say, the UFC is not going to sign people that talk about that kind of stuff. But we're like, fuck it, we're just going to be ourselves, and still influenced him to just be his goofy, crazy self, because he is a crazy kid. But then also, it's just his athleticism. He's got some of the best eyes. He's got some of the best reaction time I've ever seen. And he's so athletic, and his balance, both stance is so good. Half the times he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's just letting his body go, and he's just such a good athlete. And I mean, there's good athletes like that all the time, but none as consistent as him. He really consistent, really figured out what he needed to do, and we've been grinding at it for the last almost 11 years.
Hello everyone. I just want to let you all know about my new Patreon page where you can access a lot more new, unseen video content. On my Patreon page, you'll be able to access a lot of unseen short films, documentaries, jiu-jitsu technique videos, and breakdowns of many different grappling matches. Also, to help with the YouTube algorithm, I would really appreciate if you can like and comment on any of my new videos, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you.